Alright, what's up, y'all? So I just woke up, hopped on the charts, and now I'm just gonna look for what I see, kind of. Just gonna look around, tell you guys what I see, and I didn't do analysis, so I'm just pretty much gonna do a live analysis. So first of all, right away, I'm seeing the weekly cycle from yesterday, like obvious. But other than that, I don't see nothing. So let's see. Look around. So we had let's go on the 4 hour. So 4 hour chart. So we're in Q4. So we had our Monday drop down, Tuesday pulled back up into the Monday range, and in this case, we swept it on the Q. And then we had that pullback. We swept it and expanded lower. So now it looks like we're below this low on all of them. Now, how about this low? Is that low of Q3? That's not low of Q3. Yeah, so we got below Friday low on Dow, but we're not. Are you below Friday? We're not below Friday low on ES and then Q, which would be this low right here, which is also a PSP. Oh, we are below Friday on ES. Interesting. So yeah, that was interesting. Interesting. Okay. Dang, that's quite a drop. Okay, so we're below Friday. Okay. And then we touched it. We didn't trade through and it came back up. Here we closed through it. We just chopped. All right. That's the retracement looks rather symmetrical. So that's a good sign for bearishness. I like that. We're still in that new week opening range gap, which is let's go. Staying in the new week opening range gap is completely acceptable to anticipate as we're in the first week of the month and we have NFP. So we're going to range most of this week. So you can see we're already ranging. Just Dow went a little bit lower. Um, so what I'm trying to figure out, do we need to get lower than from here today? Today, I don't see us getting lower. What I do see is NFP expanding, and then NFP on Friday flying lower. But until that happens, oh wow, that's nice. No wick. Actually, it makes sense. There's no bottom wick. But until NFP expands on Friday, I don't think we're gonna move too much. Like this is nice. This is very nice right here. So we can definitely see a bit of a pull, but I feel like we just need the NFP to really bring us lower. So NFP either brings us back into the range or it pulls us away from a range. There's no in between. So that's on a higher base. Now, in terms of looking at it from right now, we have a 1 hour PSP right here, but yeah, we don't. There's no weekly cycle here. Um, I'm taking this as a retracement, and I think we're going to expand lower today. We had news at 8:30, and let's figure out what that news did. So we had news at 8:30. It led to I would deem this as manipulation. So right here we have a 90-minute cycle. So right there, that's our 90-minute cycle. And then I would expect us to manipulate, take this key level out because this key level would be high of AM session range and also the week opening gap high, and then turn around. Um, let's see if we can fill some gaps along. So obviously we have this hourly gap over here. But the hourly gap already got cleared on Dow. So I don't have as much, I guess, trust towards it. And then, let's see. I see Dow over here. Yeah, it didn't sweep. All right, that's nice. So we do have this Dow 15-minute. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Very healthy in my opinion. Um, and then obviously, oh, but this is a daily. I think that was yesterday's, right? Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, that's yesterday's daily cycle. Oh wait, that's not daily. Am I tripping? Yeah, I'm tripping. That is not daily. Yeah. Okay, this is it. All right. This is the daily. We have yeah. Okay, yeah. Hidden daily. So with the bodies. So technically, since NQ is the one that made the higher high and ES made the failure swing, ES isn't supposed to get traded to back here, while NQ is allowed to get traded back to here because it's the one that took the high. So then if it takes the high again one more time, it's like whatever, it just took the high again. Another thing that I really really like is that if you look at the bottom, the bodies, the lowest low is in Q2 as well as here in the Dow, and we have a um, very clear daily cycle here with a symmetrical high. This high right here is the high for ES and Q and Dow on the 15-minute for Q2. So I really like that. So I am this is definitely starting to be more of a high probability day for me as I'm seeing things like this. That is a great sign in my opinion. So obviously we can see a lot of chop, so we're gonna need some kind of clearance. But right now we have daily cycle, 15-minute PSP. We retraced back up into the range from here to here, and then we pulled down a little bit. Now, obviously, we can expand right off the bat here the moment 9:30 hits, but we'll see. But I'm not entering until 9:30 for sure. So I'll see you guys in 9:30. All right. So as you guys can see, it's 9:30 now, and looks like we had. Okay, this is actually pretty clean. Like I'm genuinely pretty impressed. This it feels great to watch something like this happen after so many weeks of just bad price. So let's just look over how beautiful this is. Like genuinely, this is beautiful. We had the daily cycle, right? Right with the PSP, and then we just now had a 90-minute cycle where Dow went higher and created a 5-minute PSP, and then we ripped lower at 9:30. And I think we also had a micro. Like it makes sense why we started to expand at 9:30. I'm just not gonna take that simply because like I'm not doing that. Nope, not at 9:30. So, but still, it just feels great, man. Feels great to watch the market actually expand. It's been a while. So, anyway, let's see what we got. So, obviously, we're gonna have a little bit of a retracement. Let's check that 15-minute. Looks like, yeah, those lows are gonna be swept. All right. I have a feeling like we're about to start expanding soon. There's no entry yet. Absolutely not. 1 hour. Yeah, I still believe in that low. Let me just mark it out. Bam, bam. PSP on the 1 minute, and then Yep. Very classic moment. Um, very classy. 176. I completely expected expansion. Completely expected. The moment we hit here, like after we saw this, we knew we were gonna expand. Would I have entered that if this was September? If this was October? Anything but this week's price action? Absolutely. This entry over here is good, but today, no. You're not catching me entering in something like that. Like, yeah, look, these little spots now, because now is, I guess you can say, is high probability. Some of these may work, but entering just like that on a falling knife, I am not gonna do that. I'm not trying to do that. So what do we see? What do you see? I feel like Dow is just pulling up. Why is Dow pulling up? Okay, that 4 hour PSP, the prior candle is nothing. Yeah. Uh, let's see. So here's Q2. Here's Q3. Do we have anything? And okay, so Dow ran higher. I guess we can say we have 90. There's still a PSP right there. Yeah, that's a PSP. Very nice. Very nice. All right. So we went lower. Did we sweep any level of liquidity? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We did not sweep anything. So it's fine. This is totally fine. I think what possibly is happening, we have FOMC today, right? So the fact that we don't want to take this low because tons of orders are below this low. So if we get below this low, then we may have to expand further. So to see something like this happen, maybe go to this gap, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just not poking the bear. I'm not putting risk on the line unless we see this high swept or we see a strong reversal anytime now. So what do we have right now? We have right here. This is a PSP, the Dow, and then down close over here. All right, so now we have a micro cycle. We have a clean micro, doubling micro as well. Just running higher. Yeah, type something in here. Zeros. Oops. Seven one three. All right. Now, okay, nice. This is fine. So we have that micro now. We have candle bodies right here. This one closed lower. We hit a new day opening gap. Very nice. This is a PSP. So I'm gonna No, I'm not. You know what? You know what? I'm entering demo. I want it perfect. It ran higher because right there is exactly how I could like I tend to lose when I see. So look, this didn't sweep anything really. It swept London, which okay, whatever. We swept London on all three. That's nothing. Like sweeping London isn't something to go crazy for if all three assets did it. But like this is an example of where like I would get tripped up. Like before we would sweep like a level or whatever, we would pull back and I would just enter there. When in reality, this right here, that's not much. Like yeah, we have a new day opening gap now as well. But in most cases I would enter somewhere like here is short and I would just lose it because in reality you have to go to a higher. But in this case I may still take it because this right there is a PSP and the daily cycle is still there. So we had manipulation at 9:30. So if I deem this as manipulation, this can be safe. And I think, yep, I'm gonna take that. Now I risked very, very little on this trade. I wow, I didn't mean to risk so little. But let's see what it does. I'm risking $50 only. I didn't realize how few ticks there were. Okay, so now we dropped into this gap, right? The little gap over there. We closed below these lows on yes. So now let's see. We're either at we're either at a very very premium right now in terms of the range, or we just took a short term discount and we're going to pull harder. So this is pretty much what I'm looking at, but I'm going to put on another screen so I can see what's happening. All right, so now we're pulling back. We dug deep on those. Yep, nothing too pretty, I have to admit. I would want to see us turn around like right now as we're in this gap because above this gap there's nothing. Like genuinely nothing. So think I'll enter one more con here if we go below this and we have a pullback, I could enter one more. If not, and I think I'm gonna close at any moment here unless we yep. I'm out. I am not letting that shit get to me. That right there, it can expand if it wants to, but I'm not entering in that. Because we had a pullback back into here. We're just chopped up. Now, it can expand lower. I still have one more shot. But this right here, I wanted to see it drop aggressively. And just like that, baby, we saved some money. Hell yeah. Saved money's made money. So let me go ahead and show this on the executions. Here, check this one out. So I shorted it. Not a bad short, honestly. Like that entry was pretty clean. And then I just left break even. And that's it. Break even. So I'm just gonna watch. I'm just gonna wait. All I'm waiting for is right here. We need to sweep some levels. And okay, let's say we're going lower to create daily at the lows. All right. So then with the Dow, let's say. Okay, the Dow's going lower. Where is it going to? This low? This low? It would have to go below this low down here in order for us to have a monthly cycle for us to go higher. Well, we didn't have a monthly cycle to go lower, but I think we're just ranging prior to FOMC. So, all right, nothing. Oh, this is nice. Okay, now I enter my final trade. And this is going to be it for today. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Perfect. Perfect, 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 perfect. 300. I don't know where it is. Anyway, the reason I entered, I was, as you guys saw, I wanted to wait for those highs, but then NQ bodies closed right there. Created a crack with the yes. See bodies crack. And then from there, I was like, okay, that is valid. And I like that. Now, right now, we're pulling back up a little bit, a little bit. So let's see. But by the way, I'm still staying true to the two trades because I already took one. If this one's a loss, I'm out. So let's see what happens. Because Dow just ran lower down here, and pretty much if the reason for Dow to drop lower is for us to get that liquidity to burst higher, then just going to be a quick loss and moving on. All right, so looks like we created those two highs. Yeah, it looks like we're probably going to rip right through them. Yeah, a little pullback and I'm out. Let's see. Hmm. I'm just waiting for it to like have one more little crack for me to leave. Okay, I left right there. Perfect. 51 minus 51 on the day. I guess you could say, oh, you should have entered there because that's not enough. But I've had many times where a new day opening gap would reverse it and with an SMT like that. So I know I stated like, oh, I want to see that high, but when I saw Dow running there and I saw that little moment there with the yes, I was like, you know what? I can put a low risk on this. I mean, I can risk less and give it a shot. So I gave it a shot. Obviously, didn't work. And yeah, those are my two trades for today, and that's it. So let's go ahead and look at what was down there at the lows. I'm kind of curious. I'm not tripping about. I literally lost 250 on the day of total. Like, what is that like? Yeah, minus 5170 times five. Yeah, 250. So absolutely nothing to trip about. Um, yeah. So I don't think I'm not taking another trade today because, as I wrote down yesterday, Wednesday risk two trades, $200 total risk. So I did two trades, and I had a total that I could have risked of $200. I chose not to risk the full 200. Well, I left obviously, and I think I left, and I did the right decision. So that's it. You see, like, hey man, I'm just preserving capital. That's it. So we're chilling. A reason for reversal. I want to say daily cycle at the lows, but honestly, like putting QT aside, realistically, we reversed in order to have a retracement back up, and I think it's just due to FOMC. We're just waiting for it. I've seen times when we would expand prior to FOMC. It happens. Not obviously not always, but every once in a while it does happen. So let's see. Maybe we'll turn around it here. But I look, I'm closing it. I'm not trading it out. So you might turn around here, might give it a paper. So we have the daily cycle still, right? Because it swept it, but it still needs. It obviously still needs something lower. So right there, like I was saying earlier, that NQ is still able to sweep this high because it's the one that did it create the failure swing? It's the one that took the high of the daily cycle SSMT. So let's see. So the entry would be honestly right here. Whoa. Right, bam. It's kind of aggressive of an entry, but it's following the rules. We sweep the high and like yeah, it can go 1, 2, sweep it twice, but if we're bearish, I don't think we're sweeping it twice because yeah. Did we have news? Because that's an expansive candle. Let's see. We're gonna do 3 RR. What is this? 4.5 RR. Wow, that's a strong one. So let's see. 4.17 RR. Mm-mm-mm. And here's the thing about like this trade, for example. If I was on the top step X and it just dropped down like that, I could have easily put a stop loss right there and then just minimize my position. And that's honestly the beauty of entering on reversals because you just have so much tighter of a stop. All right. So anyway, now what we see is we have a 90-minute along with that daily cycle, and looks like this is probably where I should have entered. You know. Now, obviously, I didn't because I used up my 2 trades quite early. But hey, it's a learning process, and I'm glad that I left those 2 trades early because that to me is very important. Very, very important. That I'm able to keep my emotional health was good the whole day today. Very good emotional health. Um, my analysis, although I did expect a retracement, I should have just had that patience to wait for that full SMT to happen. And then last but not least, I have a last but not least. But let's see. Oh, last but not least, I'm on paper. So proud that you see like I don't have freaking Top Step X open. Like I'm not bullshitting you guys. I'm not taking it. I took the 2 trades, and the fact of the matter is that hey, this is a good entry. This is a way better entry than the last two because liquidity has been purged. Yeah, I should have waited, or like the right thing would be to wait, but I didn't, and that's okay. That's okay. So let's see. And oh, by the way, 1 mini is the equivalent to 2 micros for me normally. So this is probably 30 ticks, right? 30 ticks. Oh, 60 ticks. Yeah. All right. So let's see. We'll put a mental partial right there, but our low that I want to see swept is this. So 6 RR if it does hit, which in our case, in our scenario, if I entered that on my actual account, 59. So I would risk 2.5 micros, so 3 micros. So if I risk this with 3 micros, that would be $60, $90, and in order to make a profit of 360, 360 plus 180, 420, 520. So in order to make 520, that's pretty good. What did I say? $90 to make 520, 6 RR. Yeah, that's pretty good. So let's see. Let's just wait and see. All right, I'm gonna wait this one out. Um, s- Simply because I respect demo trades a lot. Obviously, a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's not a demo," but nah, dude. A demo trade after your main trades is very good because number one, it solidifies your analysis, and number two, it keeps your mental health stable. Because if I went and bought a My Fund of Futures account simply just to short this, then the next day I would have gone and done something silly again. But I'm not wasting that. Instead, I'm over here on demo, just grinding it out, man. I do have about 10 to 15 minutes left because after that I have to go to a doctor's appointment. So I still got that time. So I'm gonna wait 10 for 15 minutes and then we'll see. But I really like the idea of these live trades because this is the thing. You learn as a trader, you learn to trade and do your skill by staring at this. Like what I'm doing right now seems very stupid. It's like, why don't you just go do something else? Leave it there. Like you're either gonna win it or lose it. But man, just like practice at work, like let's say you're in finance, you got to just keep going through Excel and crunching numbers. This is the same thing as that Excel. You just gotta sit here, watch it, and feel fine in your heart with pullbacks. Like obviously these aren't pullbacks. Like this is completely worthless, and there's no value behind this. Like I don't care about any of this. But it took me time to get to this point because before I would be on demo and I'd just be worried that it's pulling back. Right now, I genuinely don't care. Like I don't care at all. Even those trades that I left, I was like yeah, I cared a little bit. Like I had a little bit of a feeling of that. Like oh, like I don't want to lose this because in the back. But the only reason wasn't because of the money. It was because in the back of my mind, I knew that entering here is like a little bit silly because this isn't an SSMT. I'm only entering SSMTs. So in all reality, when you are so connected to your rules, in most cases, like your mind tells you, like, look, dude, what you're doing right now is kind of silly. And then in most cases, like for me personally, because I've been trading for so long, like I get that tingly feeling of like you're not doing something right, and it's always just you're not following your rules. So that's why I closed not just closed the trades, but I'm out now because I should have waited. And hey, it doesn't matter. I'll make it out one day. So, and I'm only down $50 when technically I should have been down three times of that amount if I let it hit my stop. So we're chilling. Okay, what did Dow do? The Dow take the low? Perfect. So Dow took that low. So now we can see that. Now, what can we infer is going to happen after that? We can infer we're going to have a ton of chop, right? So we have that daily cycle still there, but Dow took this low, which is yesterday PM low. So now that kind of made that crack in the market for us to be able to go lower, but it also what's it called? Give us a little bit more chop. So let's see. I can definitely move my stop loss to break even, which I need to practice doing because I tend to not move my stop loss to break even for some reason. And like in cases like this, dude, absolutely no reason for me for price to pull back. Right? Nice, nice, nice. Now, right here, you can see like, oh, it's a microcycle. But here's the thing: if you're trusting this micro, then you got to leave the trade now. So it's either you trust this micro as a sign of manipulation, and this is just a level for us to clear, or you're taking it as a sign that we're going to reverse off it. But what I see now is chop. I see chop. And the main reason why I'm staying in this trade is simply just to see. Honestly, personally, I think I would have closed it by now. Actually, I don't know. But I want to close it for two reasons. Number one, the way we bounced off this. And then number two, the wicks. The wicks are wicking. But we do have a new day opening gap here. And still, the what we have at the highs here is really powerful. So I think I'm holding on to that. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, let's see. I have to pre-check into a doctor's appointment, so clicking around here. All right, and that doesn't look too pretty. I think I'm out. I'm out of this one, boys. We're out. So essentially, if I took this trade on my personal, let's see. So I entered right there. Not personal. If I entered those on, okay, so that would have been 200. No, that would have been 150 bucks. So it would have been one RR if I left there. Well, a little bit more than one RR, 1.5 RR. Now, okay, whatever, it's running lower, but the reason I left there, I don't like this. And then this PSP right here, okay, we're pulling back up just to go lower because this didn't trade through. But I don't want to stay in this. I don't want to stay in this. So I left. And yeah, easy as that. And later today, we're going to discuss what happened. But man, I am proud. This is a thing. I didn't lose money. I lost 50 bucks when I had a total risk of 200. So there we go, baby. Let's go.